Have you ever found yourself sitting all by yourself in a room that is very, very quiet? Maybe the sun is going down and the shadows are getting long on the floor. In that quiet moment, you might feel like your heart is actually breaking into hundreds of tiny little pieces. It is a heavy feeling that sits right in the middle of your chest. You feel this way because you tried so very hard to be the absolute best partner you could possibly be. You did everything you were told to do. You were kind, you were there, and you gave everything you had, but somehow, in a way that feels so unfair, everything still fell apart and stopped working. It is a truly painful and very confusing feeling for any man to have to go through in his life. It makes you feel like you are lost in the woods without a map. Most of us men are taught from the very time we are tiny little boys that love is supposed to work just like a simple trade at a toy store. We think it is like a business deal where you give something to get something back. We are told by the world all around us that if we just put in enough kindness, if we stay loyal and true like a faithful best friend, and if we make sure we have a good job and a steady, safe life, the result should always be a woman's love. We expect her whole heart to be given back to us like a prize for being a good person. It feels just like a math problem in school where you add things up and you expect to get a very specific answer every single time you do the work. You think to yourself deep down, if I do all these nice things and show her that I am a truly good person, she will naturally and easily want to be with me forever and ever. You think that if you are the best student in the class of love, you will get the best grade. But the truth of the matter is that the human heart does not actually work like a bank account at all. You cannot just keep depositing kindness and nice gestures and expect that you can withdraw attraction and romance whenever you want to. It just does not work that way. This is why the story of a man named Marcus is so very common and yet so very hard to hear for those of us who truly care about people. Marcus was the kind of guy that everyone in the neighborhood liked because he was the king of making a big effort in everything he did. He was the man who never ever missed a single phone call. If the phone rang, he picked it up on the first try every time. He always remembered every tiny little detail about her life, like the name of her favorite teacher from all the way back in 3rd grade, or the exact perfect way she liked her coffee in the morning with just a tiny bit of cream and absolutely no sugar at all. He knew her favorite flowers and the songs that made her smile. He paid for every single dinner at the nicest places in town without a second thought. He opened every single door with a big smile on his face, and he was always right there whenever she needed him for a ride or just a long talk about her day. On paper, he was the perfect partner that any parent would want for their daughter to marry one day. He was stable, he was kind, and he was always there when she called. He was like a rock that never moved. But then something very sad and very confusing happened to him. She left him. She left him for someone else who seemed to offer her none of those nice things at all. This man didn't open doors or remember the coffee orders, but she wanted to be with him instead of Marcus. This happens quite often because while men are taught to focus on what they are doing and what they are giving, a woman's heart is actually moved by how she feels inside when she is standing right next to you. It is about the vibe and the energy in the room. When you do too much for someone, like texting her every single hour of the day to say hello, checking in on her constantly to see if she is okay, and changing your whole world and all your plans just to fit her busy schedule. You think you are being very romantic and sweet. You think you are showing her how much she matters, but to her, it starts to feel like a very heavy weight sitting on her shoulders. It is just like being given a very big, heavy gift that you did not ask for, and now you have to carry it around everywhere you go. It stops being a gift and starts being a job by making her the only thing in your whole universe. You accidentally and without meaning to make her responsible for your happiness. You make her responsible for your mood and how you feel about yourself as a person. That is a lot for one person to carry. Instead of feeling like a woman being led by a strong and happy man, she starts to feel like a mother or a caretaker for your feelings and your emotions. She feels like she has to keep you happy or you will be sad. This creates a feeling of being trapped or suffocated, like there isn't enough air in the room. Eventually, she gets bored because there is no room to breathe in the relationship. Your constant attention stops feeling like a wonderful gift and starts feeling like a piece of dead weight that she has to drag behind her. True love and attraction need a lot of space to grow, just like a fire needs air to keep burning. If you pack too many logs onto a small fire, you will put the fire out. It needs gaps between the wood so the air can move. Love needs a little bit of mystery and the feeling that you are a man who has a wonderful, exciting world of his own. When you are always available and always right there waiting for her, you take away that important space. You replace the beautiful feeling of wanting someone with the feeling of neediness. Neediness is like a cold wind that blows out the candle of romance. There is something called the proving trap. This is a cycle where a man mistakenly thinks that love is something he has to earn through a long audition process, like he is trying out for a big play on a stage. When you meet a woman who is really special, your first instinct is to try and convince her that you are the good guy she has been looking for all this time. You want to show her that you are different from the men who were mean to her or ignored her in the past. To prove this, you start to slowly take apart your own life just to make hers a little easier. You might stop going to the gym the moment she says she is free to hang out. You might stop seeing your best friends because you want to be ready just in case she calls you on the phone. You might even start nodding your head and agreeing with things she says, even if you do not actually believe them, just because you want to keep things peaceful and nice. You think you are showing her how much you care, but in the quiet part of her mind, she sees something else entirely. She sees a man who does not value his own time, his own goals, or his own ideas. She sees a man who is willing to give up himself just to make her smile. This behavior creates a big problem because it removes all the healthy tension from the relationship. Tension is like a string on a guitar. If it is too loose, it won't play music. Attraction thrives when there is a little bit of a challenge. It grows when a woman knows that her partner has his own rules, his own hobbies, and his own life. When you make yourself completely available and always do whatever she wants, you take away any chance of her ever feeling like she might lose you. Without that tiny bit of risk, there is no excitement or wonder left in the relationship. You basically train her brain to see you like a helpful tool or a household appliance. You become like a toaster or a lamp in her house. She knows you will always be there when she pushes the button. You are reliable, but you are not exciting. She never has to think about you or value you as a special prize because she knows you aren't going anywhere. This is exactly why so many kind men eventually hear those words that break their hearts into pieces. I love you, but I am not in love with you. It is a very polite and gentle way of saying that while she thinks you are a nice person, she does not respect you as a man. Respect is the very foundation of attraction. It is the floor that everything else sits on. A woman cannot feel that deep romantic spark for a man who seems to have no backbone. By trading who you are just to get her approval, you actually destroy the very thing she was searching for. A man strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet. You did not lose her because you were too nice or too kind. Being kind is good. You lost her because you stopped being a man with his own path and became a man who was just waiting for her to tell him what to do next. To get your magic back and change how she looks at you, you must stop looking to her to tell you that you are good enough. You have to know you are good enough all by yourself. Instead, you need to focus on 3 big pillars that make attraction happen at a very deep level. The first pillar is having a purpose that is bigger than the relationship itself. There is a very strong and magnetic quality to a man who is busy with a mission. This could be his job, a hobby he truly loves, or a big goal he is working toward that has nothing to do with his dating life. It could be learning to build things, training for a race, or helping people in the community. When your whole world does not spin around her, you look like a complete and whole man. This independence is very attractive because it shows that you are the captain of your own ship. It takes away the heavy pressure for her to be your only source of happiness. This actually gives her the room she needs to miss you, to look up to you, and to want to be a part of the exciting world you are building for yourself. She wants to be the co-pilot, not the whole destination. The second pillar is being emotionally steady, which is like being the solid ground under her feet. It is a part of life that women will sometimes test a man's strength to see if he is strong. They do not do this to be mean or hurtful. They do it to see if you are a solid foundation they can lean on when life gets scary or hard or confusing. They want to know if the house will fall down when the wind blows. If you get upset, start arguing, or lose your cool when she is being emotional or challenging you, you fail that test. It makes her feel unsafe because she realizes you cannot even lead yourself through a simple moment of stress. But when you stay calm, quiet, and strong, even when there is an argument or a problem, you send a powerful signal that you are a leader. This steadiness makes her feel safe enough to let her guard down and trust you to lead the way for both of you. You are the calm in the middle of the storm. The third pillar is having self-value and having rules for how you want to be treated by others. A man who has enough respect for himself to say no or even to walk away when someone treats him poorly is very rare and very valuable in this world. It shows you have a line that cannot be crossed. If you are always there and never stand up for yourself, your kindness starts to feel cheap and easy. It becomes like a participation trophy that she gets just for showing up. It doesn't mean much, but when you have high standards for yourself, your time and your attention become a reward that she feels she has earned. By loving and valuing yourself first, you teach her how to value you too. This turns your presence from something she takes for granted into something she deeply respects and wants more of in her life. When a woman gives you mixed signals where she seems to love you one day but acts cold and distant the next, it is easy to feel frustrated and lost. You might think she just cannot make up her mind or that she is playing games with your heart. But what is really happening is a war inside her head between her logic and her feelings. Logically, she looks at you and sees a great guy. Her brain says he is nice, he is stable, and he treats me well. Her logical brain tells her you are exactly who she should be with. But her emotional brain, the part that actually feels the spark and the butterflies, is saying something else. Because you have been so easy to get and so eager to please her every whim, there is no mystery or excitement left for her. Her heart isn't saying no because you are a bad person. It is saying no because there is nothing left for her to chase or discover about you. The book is already open to the last page. This is why she acts warm when her logic is in charge, but cold when her feelings do not show up. The biggest mistake men make when she goes cold is to panic and try 10 times harder. This is like trying to catch a bird by running at it. It just flies further away. When you send 10 text messages or try to talk for hours about why things are weird, you are doing the exact thing that killed the attraction in the first place. You are showing her that your whole mood depends on her. You are showing her that you are scared. This tells her heart that you are too easy to have and that you have no other options in life. The only way to win is to stop playing that game of chasing. You have to change your focus completely. Move your energy away from her and put it back into your own life where it belongs. Focus on your work, your health at the gym, and the things you love to do when she is not around. Go for a long walk, talk to your friends, or work on a project you have been putting off. This is not a trick or a game to play. It is a real change in how you feel about your time. When you stop waiting for her to choose you and start moving toward your own goals, she feels that change in your energy right away. It is like a shift in the air. She realizes the door is not being held open forever and that you are moving forward with or without her. This creates a healthy feeling of uncertainty that her heart needs to feel attracted again. She starts to wonder where you are and what you are doing. By building a life you actually respect, you stop being a safety net and become a man of value. When she sees that you are no longer waiting by the door, that is usually when she feels the strongest urge to come back through it to be with you. To really understand this, you have to realize that women are not your enemies or your opponents. They are not trying to hurt you. The way they act, the pulling away or the testing is usually just a way to protect themselves from a deep fear. Every woman wants to feel safe and protected, but she also fears being in a relationship that feels boring or being with a man who falls apart when life gets tough. She wants a man who is stronger than the problems life throws at him. When you react to her pulling away with anger or sadness, you are just proving that your happiness depends on her. You are showing her that you aren't strong enough to be okay on your own. But the second you stop acting scared and start acting sure of yourself, the whole feeling of the relationship changes for the better. You stop being a man who is begging for a chance and start being a man who offers a life that is worth joining. You are invited her to come along on a great journey. Being the prize means taking charge of your own life and your own happiness. Instead of asking, "What do you want to do tonight?" which makes her do all the thinking and leading. You start setting the direction for the night. You say, "I'm going to this place at 7. I'd love for you to come." This is not about being mean or acting cold or ignoring her. It is about having enough character to know where you are going in life. When you stop trying to be the man who does the most chores or buys the most expensive flowers and start being the man who lives with a real heart and a real purpose, you become the person who makes her feel most alive. This is because a man with a clear path creates a sense of adventure and safety at the same time. You are like a captain who knows how to sail the ship through a storm. You are not being a bully. You are being a leader that she can trust. In the end, this change is about reaching a place of quiet peace inside your own heart, where your value as a person is not tied to whether she is there or not. You are okay either way. You stop losing the game of love because you have already won the game inside yourself. You know you are a man of value, and that is enough. You don't need a gold star from anyone else. And while you might want her there, you do not need her to tell you that you are okay. When you no longer care more about her staying than you care about your own self-respect, you give off a level of confidence that is very rare and very beautiful to see. You become the man who does not have to chase anything because his own life is the place everyone wants to be. You are not playing by her rules anymore. You are playing by the rules of a man who truly respects himself and his time. And that is a game you simply cannot lose. You must remember that your journey is about more than just finding a partner. It is about becoming the kind of man who is so grounded and so sure of his own worth that the right people are naturally drawn to him. It is like being a beautiful garden. When you take care of the flowers and the grass, the butterflies will come on their own. This does not mean you stop being kind or stop caring about people. It means your kindness comes from a place of strength, not a place of looking for a reward or trying to buy someone's love. When you give because you are a generous man, not because you are trying to make someone stay. This shift in your heart changes everything about how the world sees you. You start to walk differently with your head held high. You speak with more calm in your voice. You look people in the eye with a sense of peace because you have nothing to hide and nothing to prove. People can feel when a man is happy with himself. It is like a warm light that others want to be near. When you reach this stage, you are no longer worried about the small tests or the moments when she seems distant. You know that you are a mountain, and mountains do not move just because the wind blows. The wind comes and goes, but the mountain stays tall. You stay steady. You stay true to your path, and you keep building the life you were meant to live. This is the true secret to lasting love and respect. It starts and ends with you being the man you were always meant to be, standing tall and moving forward with a kind heart and a strong spirit. That is the man who wins. That is the man who finds real happiness that lasts a lifetime. You see, the way forward is not about doing more for others, but about being more for yourself. When you stand in your truth, you never have to worry about falling behind. You are already exactly where you need to be, and your life becomes a beautiful story that is just beginning to unfold every single day. Trust in your value, believe in your path, and always remember that you are worth so much more than what you can do for someone else. You are valuable because of the light inside you. Carry that strength with you, always like a shield and a light, as you walk forward into the future that you are building with your own 2 hands and your own strong heart. You have everything you need right now to be the leader and the man you were born to be. Take a deep breath, stand up straight, and know that you are ready for whatever comes next because you are finally home in yourself. This is where your new life starts, and it is a truly wonderful place to be. You are the master of your own soul, and from this moment on, you walk with purpose and peace. This is the beginning of your greatest adventure yet, and you are more than ready to meet it. Every step you take from now on is a step toward the man you were always meant to become. Stand tall, keep your heart kind, and never forget the strength that lives inside you. Your future is waiting, and it looks brighter than you can even imagine.